Sleep is a vital piece of our lives, and we're barely tapping into the complexity of it and the importance it has on our overall health. After all, we sleep for about a third of our lives, and it's important for balancing our hormones, repairing muscle tissue, our learning and working memory, and a plethora of other important bodily functions. It helps regulate our mood and balance our brain chemistry. So if you're someone like me who's dealt with depression or anxiety, or you're overstressed like the majority of the population, then it's in our best interest to get good quality sleep. So over the last 4 years, I did tons of research and I experimented on myself, and I even had a couple sleep studies done. And through all of this, I found some unique strategies that use scientific principles and our own physiology to override our inability to fall asleep and to wake up feeling energized for the entire day and get that really good quality sleep that you're looking for. I hope this inspires you guys to try some of these out for yourself and to really give you hope that you can get good quality sleep and change your relationship with sleep. Because if I can go from having this horrible relationship with sleep to now looking forward to my head hitting the pillow, then you can too. So without further ado, let's get started. Tip number 1 is blacking out your room. We have photoreceptors in our skin that tell our brains and our body to release a certain sleep hormone called melatonin. The secretion of this important sleep hormone is greatly affected by light. I like to think about it like this. Our brain is in our skull. It's in this dark cave, and the only way that it knows to release this important sleep hormone melatonin is through the sensory input from our bodies. We have these photoreceptors in our skin, eyes, our nose, even our ears that help communicate back to the brain what's going on the outside. So when it's light outside, it's communicating, hey, it's daytime, or when it's dark, it's nighttime. But what we've done is we've disrupted this information. So we're falsely communicating to our brains by having all the lights on at night, or watching TV, or looking at the screens in the blue light. We're creating this false communication of input to our brain that it's daytime. And so it's not going to secrete that important sleep hormone melatonin. And it's not going to let your body know that it's time to go to bed. Even after you put your phone away, blue light can delay the secretion of melatonin. This one reason can change your ability to fall asleep, your quality of sleep, and your relationship with sleep dramatically. This is why it can become dangerous and a bad habit to take melatonin exogenously, and it can cause a disruption in your own body's production of melatonin over time. So marketing strategists recognize that the population is underslept, overstressed, and wakes up feeling exhausted. And most people are confused and desperate for something quick and convenient. Take this pill and you'll sleep great. Eat these gummies and you'll get the rest that you've been looking for. It's why we're seeing all these melatonin gummies and sleep aids on the end caps in the markets like Target, Walmart, CVS, wherever. They are marketing melatonin and these quick fix solutions to your sleep problems, ignoring the real cause of people's sleep problems and the harmful effects of taking exogenous melatonin, or the possible negative side effects of taking prescriptions like Ambien. So that's where I come in, to help speak the truth and give the why behind the tips and the science and my experience, and combine it all into information that's digestible and relatable, and hopefully helps people become more informed and excited to take their health into their own hands. Sorry I went off on a bit of a tangent, but I'm just really passionate about these sort of things. To summarize, get some blackout curtains, try to refrain from exposing yourself to blue light at least an hour before bed, and remember the importance that light has on our circadian rhythm. Even the act of putting up your blackout curtains before bed plays into the next tip, and that's developing a routine. We all brush our teeth before bed. It's been a routine of ours since we were children. But this usually doesn't cue our brains into thinking that it's bedtime, because we often go on our phones afterwards, or watch TV, or lay in bed awake, stressing out about our inability to fall asleep. This is where one of my unique strategies comes into play. I call it the Pavlovian scent response. So for those of you that don't know, Pavlov was a Russian physiologist, and he was well known for this famous experiment he conducted on dogs. So this was based around classical conditioning, and it involved a stimulus and a response. So in this case, he would ring a bell, the stimulus, and then provide food, and that's the response for the dogs. And he would do this over and over again. So he'd ring the bell, the dogs would come running, and then provide the food. Eventually, he would ring the bell, and there would be no food, but the dogs would still respond physiologically. Their mouths would salivate every time the bell rang. So this pattern called classical conditioning got embedded into their physiology by the stimulus, which was the bell. So I thought, why not use this trick for good? That's where this little bottle of just water and essential oil lavender comes into play. So let me explain. I'll do my bedtime routine. I'll brush my teeth, get nice and relaxed, put up my blackout curtains, maybe stretch a little bit. And then once I'm calm and I'm in bed, I'll spray this lavender, take a nice deep breath, and it relaxes me. And then I'll fall asleep. And then I do that over and over again to the point where even if I'm stressed or I'm having trouble falling asleep, I can spray this and it cues my brain, and that physiological response will happen. And I end up falling asleep probably within 5 minutes. So this trick overrides our physiology by utilizing the link between our minds and our olfactory receptors. This is an amazing complex system that can be used for good. Think about it. If you smell a certain perfume, it may remind you of someone that you knew even years ago, or someone special, and it can make you feel emotionally good inside. Or you smell some type of cooking and it reminds you of your grandma's cooking, and you get all of those memories and those emotions that are tied to that smell. Or in this case, you can link the lavender spray to a mindset or emotion of feeling calm and relaxed so you can fall asleep easier. And the more times you do it and repeat it, the stronger the response will be. So I just ordered these little spray bottles off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. What I'll do is I'll just fill it up all the way, and then I'll add a few drops of the lavender spray, and then I'll just keep this above my bed. So when I'm laying there, I'll spray and I'll just do it over and over again. And it's simple as that. Okay, so number 3 is changing your sleep psychology. I am a great sleeper. I will have amazing sleep tonight. Positive psychology is a really powerful tool, so don't overlook this one. I urge you to be open-minded about it. Once I changed my mindset around sleep and my relationship with sleep, I was able to fall asleep a lot easier, and everything just kind of changed. It's more of a glass half full, optimistic approach than a glass half empty approach. Use maybe some of the motivation or inspiration that you get from this video to change the mindset that you have about sleep. And number 4 is mouth taping. If I had to choose 2 sleep strategies that were the most effective, it would be mouth taping and blacking out my room. And yes, it's as literal as it sounds. I get a piece of tape and I cover my mouth and I fall asleep. I know you're thinking I'm some sort of crazy psychopath, but there's a reason and science behind this. In a short summary, what it does is it forces me to breathe through my nose, which increases my nitric oxide production, aids in mitigating any dry mouth, and puts my jaw and my tongue into proper alignment. Our tongue should be naturally resting on the roof of our mouth, and it's important for proper posture and our overall kinetic chain. There's a reason mouth breathers are depicted as slow and dopey, because it actually has a mechanical effect on our posture and our health, and can be linked to teeth misalignment and other breathing problems. I got this solution because I was having breathing problems when I was sleeping, and I had mild sleep apnea, and I'd wake up with a really dry mouth. So the benefits that I've experienced from this are I never have a clogged nose anymore. It's never stuffy when I wake up. My mouth is less dry when I wake up, and I don't have any problems with sleep apnea or breathing problems, and I wake up feeling refreshed and energized. I got this solution from Dr. Mark Berhenna. He's a dentist who specializes in oral health, and our oral health translates to our systematic health or our overall health, because everything is interconnected. This one is optional, but for those of you that maybe snore or feel like you have breathing problems at night, or you feel like the benefits that I've experienced are something you want to experience, then I highly recommend it. I've been doing it for about a year now, and I will never go back. And finally, number 5 is doing some form of stretching or mobility before bed. We develop tension and holding patterns throughout the day from sitting all day at work or at school, and from our general overly sedentary lifestyles. So right before getting into bed is a fantastic time to stretch and release those overactive muscles and get rid of the tension built up from the day. And adding in some deep breathing will even further the relaxation response and help calm your body and mind. I'll be uploading in the near future a nighttime and mobility routine that you can just follow along. So I want to do a quick recap. Number 1 is blacking out your room. The darker your room, the more melatonin release, the more melatonin, the easier it'll be to fall asleep and get that better quality sleep. Number 2, developing a routine using that Pavlovian scent response trick I was talking about, and even you can incorporate the stretching and mobility into your nighttime routine and help you even further cue your brain and your physiology into thinking that it's time for bed. And number 3, change your sleep psychology. This one is overlooked, but keep an open mind and be optimistic about it. Keep telling yourself that you have a good relationship with sleep and that you're looking forward to hitting the pillow. Number 4 is mouth taping. This one is optional, but I recommend it for some of you who may have snoring problems or breathing issues, or you wake up with a dry mouth. And number 5 is stretching and mobility before bed. Release those overactive muscles, release that tension, and I'll be posting that follow along video soon. I really have a lot of empathy for people with sleep problems because I've been there. I used to have insomnia and extreme problems with falling asleep and issues with my quality of sleep to the point where I'd wake up exhausted every day. I was dependent on having the TV on or playing sounds on my phone, and even then it would take me hours to go to bed. So if I can go from having all of these problems with sleep and being an insomniac to now someone who looks forward to getting to bed, then you can too. And the way to fix these sleep issues is by using tools like the ones I provided today and that I will continue to provide throughout this whole sleep series that I'm doing. So in this sleep series, I'll be going over more tools, more into the science behind how sleep is the glue that really holds our health together, and some natural supplements, proper sleeping positions. I'm going to cover it all. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm still getting comfortable with talking in front of the camera, and I would appreciate any feedback you have, whether that's constructive criticism or just some positive reinforcement. My goal is to help as many people as I can mitigate anxiety and depression and reduce their stress through integrative health and fitness and creativity. I like the idea of integrating my passion for science, physiology, and the human body with my passion for creativity, business, and art. And hopefully this channel will reflect that and intrigue you guys as well. I think health is a multifaceted puzzle that involves things like posture, nutrition, and exercise, but also the other things that are less spoken on, like art and creativity and spirituality. So I kind of want to collide these worlds, and hopefully you guys would enjoy that. But let me know what you think, and I would greatly appreciate it if you like this video. It would help me immensely, and subscribe if you're looking forward to future videos. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.